Submissions are open until Wednesday, May 12, to decide if there should be dedicated Māori seats on Hastings District Council. It would be the local government equivalent of Māori seats in Parliament, with only those on the Māori roll eligible to vote for Māori ward candidates. While there is limited time for public consultation ahead of next year's election, council say they have hit the ground running.
When Council agreed to endorse the decision of the Here Taunga Takotonoa Māori Standing Committee back at the end of April, I wasn't surprised one bit that Council endorsed that unanimously in terms of going through a consultation process, albeit within the constraints that central government had placed upon us and the rest of the country in terms of the May 21st deadline. Our people have been knocking at the door of government, of the Crown, of local government for 181 years to be involved in decision making so that equitable decisions are made for not only for Māori but for everyone.
It is a really tight time frame, but because we do a lot of community engagement, we have a fairly good recipe, I guess you could say, for going out to the community. So we always utilise obviously mainstream media. We have a really good social profile with our Facebook page with around 23,000 followers, so that's a great platform for us to push out information, and through promoted posts we get to reach people that are on those social channels that may not follow council. Our My Voice, My Choice platform is the basis for a lot of our consultation submissions, and to date, that's been really successful.
Māori wards have been difficult to establish throughout New Zealand because they can be vetoed by a local poll. In November, Hawke's Bay Regional Council decided to have such a poll, a special vote on the issue, binding for 2 elections. The decision for a poll deeply divided the council, with it seen as a good example of democracy being the tyranny of the majority, because Treaty of Waitangi obligations can be ignored. But in February, central government prohibited such polls, putting council decisions on Māori wards on the same footing as other representative decisions made by councils. The Hawke's Bay Regional Council has finished its consultation in time for its Māori ward decision on May 19. Has this been a typical consultation for you?
Yes and no. I mean, yes it has, because we've had the typical length of time, the typical, communications and things like that. But it's quite an emotive topic, so it's been sometimes quite emotional hearing the submissions and things like that.
Napier City Council voted to start consultation on Māori wards on the same day as Hastings District Council, but Napier chose to miss the May 21 deadline, so will make a decision in time for the 2025 election. Wairoa, with a majority Māori population, introduced Māori wards in 2019 after a special poll. Central Hawke's Bay District Council says it hasn't yet discussed Māori wards with local iwi, but it would be part of the representation review scheduled for 2023.
I believe why Hawke's Bay Regional Council and Hastings District Council have actually picked up on the issue of establishing Māori wards, I believe, like many others, I think they recognise that the time is right to establish the Māori wards, to move in this direction. The kaupapa is not a new one. It has been in the headlights for a number of years, well over a decade. Previous to this, both those councils thought it was also too difficult a conversation to have. I think it just reflects where society is today. We see so much change in regards to cultural awareness of Māori issues. We turn on our televisions, we turn on our radios, we're hearing more and more of the reo being used. We're hearing more and more of our tamariki, our mokopuna, regardless of whether they're Māori or non-Māori, using te reo in everyday language. For them, they see this as being part of being a New Zealander, of being Kiwi. Perhaps in my youth and perhaps your youth, that wasn't the case, but today it certainly is. I think it just reflects the time.
It's a great time for us. The landscape, the terrain is changing, and we see that nationally, not only in local government but in the Māori economy, in education, in the business sector. So these vibrant times require diversity at the table in order to make decisions that benefit everyone, including Māori.
The majority of submissions to Hawke's Bay Regional Council have been in favour of Māori wards, and so far Hastings submissions are also in favour. There are no oral submissions for Hastings District Council, but it is holding a hui open to all on the matter at Council Chambers 5:30 p.m. on Monday, ahead of the close of submissions 5 p.m. Wednesday, May 12. Patrick O'Sullivan, Local Focus.